Next, we shall discuss anti-Markovnikov addition or peroxide effect or Kharasch effect. Propane reacts with hydrogen bromide in the presence of benzoyl peroxide to give 1-bromopropane. So, if addition of HBr to an unsymmetrical alkene takes place in the presence of peroxide like benzoyl peroxide, anti-Markovnikov addition takes place. And if propene reacts with HBr in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, the major product obtained will be 1-bromopropane. We know that according to Markovnikov's rule, the positive part of the reagent gets attached to the double bonded carbon with more number of hydrogen atoms, or the negative part of the addendum gets attached to the double bonded carbon with a lesser number of hydrogen atoms. So in anti-Markovnikov addition, the negative part of the addendum will be getting attached to the double bonded carbon with a greater number of hydrogen atoms. So that is why in this particular reaction, that is reaction of propene with HBr in the presence of peroxide, bromine gets attached to the CH2 carbon and hydrogen gets attached to the CH carbon, and thus the major product obtained will be 1-bromopropane. Now let us discuss the mechanism of anti-Markovnikov addition of HBr to propane. Consider benzoyl peroxide. It undergoes homolytic bond breaking and it leads to the formation of phenyl free radical C6H5 dot along with carbon dioxide. The phenyl radical thus formed reacts with HBr. Homolysis takes place in HBr and it leads to the formation of benzene and bromine free radical. Thus bromine free radical will be generated. In the next step, bromine free radical reacts with propene CH3CH double bond CH2. Homolytic bond breaking takes place in the alkene and it leads to the formation of two different types of free radicals, primary free radical and secondary free radical. We get CH3, CHBr, CH2 dot, which is a primary free radical, and we know that it is less stable. We also get a secondary free radical, which is CH3, CH dot, CH2Br. Secondary free radical is more stable than primary free radical. Now consider secondary free radical CH3, CH dot, CH2Br. It reacts with the HBr. Homolysis takes place and it leads to the formation of major product 1-bromopropane. Along with that, bromine free radical is also obtained. So anti-Markovnikov addition of HBr to propene takes place through the formation of free radicals, whereas Markovnikov addition of HBr to propane takes place through the formation of carbocation. So that is why we get two different major products. In the case of Markovnikov addition, the major product obtained is 2-bromopropane, whereas in anti-Markovnikov addition of HBr to propane, the major product obtained is 1-bromopropane. Consider the next reaction, addition of sulfuric acid. All the addition takes place to unsymmetrical alkenes will be taking place according to Markovnikov's rule. So in the following reactions, two examples are given. An unsymmetrical alkene is taken as well as a symmetrical alkene. Now consider symmetrical alkene ethene, CH2 double bond CH2. Addition of sulfuric acid takes place across the carbon-carbon double bond. H gets added to CH2 carbon and OSO2OH gets attached to the other CH2 carbon. The product thus obtained is ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Now consider propene, which is an unsymmetrical alkene. Addition of sulfuric acid takes place in such a way that H gets added to CH2 carbon and OSO2H group gets attached to the CH carbon. Thus we get propyl hydrogen sulfate. Next reaction, addition of water. Addition of water to ethene takes place in the presence of acid. The product obtained is ethanol. H gets added to CH2 carbon and OH gets attached to the other CH2 carbon, and that is how product ethanol is formed. Now consider an unsymmetrical alkene propene CH3CH double bond CH2. Addition of water as HOH will take place across the carbon-carbon double bond. H gets attached to the CH2 carbon and OH gets attached to the CH carbon. Thus we get the product propen-2-ol. Now consider 2-methyl propene. Here water addition will take place across the carbon-carbon double bond. H gets added to the CH2 carbon and OH gets attached to the other carbon atom. Thus the product obtained is 2-methyl propen-2-ol, which is tertiary butyl alcohol. Now consider the next reaction, that is oxidation. Alkenes react with a dilute aqueous solution of potassium permanganate. Dilute aqueous solution of potassium permanganate is known as Bayer's reagent. The purple color of potassium permanganate gets discharged. So this decolorization can be used as a test for unsaturation. When ethane, an unsaturated compound, is treated with Bayer's reagent, the purple color of potassium permanganate will disappear. This is because ethane contains carbon-carbon double bond, or it is an unsaturated compound. Now when a dilute aqueous solution of potassium permanganate is added to ethane, ethene gets converted to ethane 1,2-diol. Now consider propene. When treated with Bayer's reagent, the product obtained is propane 1,2-diol. Acidified solution of potassium permanganate, when added to 2-methyl propene, converts it to propanol. So here in this case, oxidation of an alkene takes place when treated with an acidified solution of potassium permanganate. When 2-methyl propene is treated with an acidified solution of potassium permanganate, the compound gets oxidized to propanol. Along with propanol, carbon dioxide and water are also produced. Now consider but2-ene, another alkene. When treated with acidified solution of potassium permanganate, but2-ene gets oxidized to ethanoic acid.